Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK 2020 Summer. I'm Atlas, joined by my good friend, the Valdanalist, as we are here for potentially the shortest series of all time. It is going to be DAMWON against SeolHaeOne Prince. We do not beat around the bush when it comes to this particular broadcast. SeolHaeOne Prince are last, DAMWON are first. Do the math. We don't want to, and we're not good at it.
Well, if we had to do, maybe not math, but I don't know what you would call it. Like
an assessment?
Yeah, an assessment of the different tiers and levels right now. There's 3 teams at the top, of which DAMWON seems to be even
the toppest
of the top by a decent margin after crushing DRX and defeating Genji.
Yes.
Then you've got T1, and then there's like a Freak
and Co.
And then and then there's like KT, Sandbox, Dynamics. And then there's Life and SeolHaeOne Prince, who might even be another step below. So there's many, as you guys can tell, many different levels, and DAMWON are certainly looking like the most in form going into Worlds. Now we still got a couple of months.
Yeah,
right?
I mean we don't want to jump the gun too quick, because of course DAMWON were defeated. I think they came in 4th in playoffs in spring. Correct me if I'm wrong there, unless it was 5th. Trying to remember. No, it was 4th.
It was 4th.
And that means that they don't have that many circuit points. T1, very likely to qualify based on circuit points, depending on how well they can do in the playoffs. But I think if they get as high as 3rd, it's pretty likely that T1 are going to be the team that will secure that spot, unless Gen G makes a very good run, doesn't win the final, and then they get through on circuit points instead. Circuit points are a very confusing thing, but we'll make sure that we keep you up to date when things get a little bit more tight here towards the upcoming weeks of the LCK. 13 series losing streak. Let's not talk about SeolHaeOne Prince. I'm going to skip that one. 6 series winning streak. Can DAMWON keep their winning streak rolling against SeolHaeOne Prince, Dynamics, T1, and KT? Their run towards the playoffs is certainly not looking too bad for DAMWON, apart from T1.
Only T1 will be a small roadblock, and on paper right now, they look like it should be an easy win, but we're seeing T1 kind of changing in the meanwhile. I think their drafts are slowly getting a bit better. I think with Closer in the lineup, they're having a lot of success, but they still are going to have a rough time against DAMWON. That is no secret. As we're coming in here, you guys can see, it says DAMWON is 2nd. I don't think that's correct. I believe they are 1st.
What do you mean? Where does it say 2nd?
Right here on the left.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they aren't. No, they are 2nd as of right now because DRX just won.
Oh,
so
because they have 13 wins.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. All right. Well,
I mean, technically it's correct, okay? We don't want to mislead the collective.
Okay.
Not that we can mislead the collective because they are all-knowing and understand everything.
Great. Well, take a look at this team difference at 25 and 15, by the way.
Yeah, that's big numbers.
They crush, okay? That's the difference between DAMWON and DRX. We saw DRX against a relatively weak team.
Yep.
I mean, Sandbox are definitely better than SeolHaeOne Prince. That's also, I think, pretty apparent. But DAMWON, when they face any team that's not on the left side of the bracket, they dominate them. Quick games. It doesn't really matter what they draft. Sometimes they draft really aggressively to win even quicker. So it does feel like there is a little bit of a difference here watching a team like DAMWON compared to DRX face off against a weaker team. As, they're just going to be going with their same lineup here. Beryl will be starting, and so will Ghost and Nuggery.
Yep, on the other side, SeolHaeOne Prince are mixing things up just a little bit. Flawless hasn't made his way back onto the roster yet, and it's going to be Trigger and Mia on the bottom side of the map to try and deal with Ghost and Beryl. Ghost and Beryl, I think, have been our most improved players during the summer split in comparison to the spring. Now getting 2v2 kills on the bottom side of the map, really stepping up. But we're going to highlight our stats magician here on the left-hand side. Showmaker, he's good at making shoes, also really good at having a KDA above 20. His damage per minute difference is just ludicrous. His damage per minute is still 1st. And earns the most gold, does the most with it. He doesn't actually. As Mickey does more with the gold that he gets than than Showmaker does.
Yeah.
But when you get so much gold, you know, it's really hard to spend
really
it on.
hard, yeah.
Have you spoken to like a millionaire? He's like, oh, I just don't know what to do.
Yeah. How am I going to make
money?
such a difference with all this money?
Oh my goodness! You know,
Too
you
much.
got Bill Gates. He like tries to cure polio and stuff like
But
that.
he's still
that's
not
difficult.
doing a percentage difference compared to some people that are not as rich as he is.
If you think about it, if you make 50
It's
cents
actually
and you
true.
do lots of stuff, like go for a run,
Yeah.
think about how much you're earning with that 50 cents.
It's very true. Oh, man.
I don't necessarily.
We've really
know the
broken apart this damage per mold.
damage per mold.
Damage per mold.
But the
I'm
damage
molding.
percent
You can tell.
is a demonstration of how much more important Mickey is to his team than Showmaker is.
I find it crazy
really.
that Showmaker has a 24 KDA and he's not LCK first. Who is LCK first?
No, he is LCK first.
But it didn't say LCK first.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. I don't think.
But it usually does.
I know it usually does, but
Why do sometimes they say LCK first and sometimes they don't?
because
Let's get consistent here.
do we
you
have
know?
to? No, he is LCK first. I think
Okay.
Teddy's second on like 7.6.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
that makes sense. I'm just a little bit confused because, yeah, the number we had over here was 24 KDA,
Yeah.
by the way.
I think it might be on the patch. Could it be on the patch? And that way, it's not LCK first. Wait. No, because what? I was thinking that Closer might have a bigger one, but he doesn't. So I'm confused. Maybe this is.
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
my stats aren't updated.
Now, again, I guess it would be Closer if he's only died like one time.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
he gets like the benefit of not having as many games, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Do we have like? We got like a stats packet that has a bunch of things.
Maybe you can
most of it in Korean.
Dive in.
I could see what we could find while we're, I think, taking a little while to get towards our
Yeah, we'll get
our
there.
game here.
We're starting at exactly 8 p.m., which is, we're about to ding 8 p.m.
Oh, wow, we're here right on time.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it. there's Ixu on your screen right here. Let's hope that he has a better game this time around. I mean, it's a lot to ask against Noguri, 100%, but I mean, Noguri has a 0-2 power spike. Ixu has a 0-2 Trough of Doom.
Oh.
It doesn't really work.
Never-ending power trough.
It is a never-ending power trough. He's He's having
Ooh, the head massage, too.
Yeah, this is it's getting intense.
It's always for Nuguri, too, if you'll notice that. It's always for him. They're like, well, you're the one piece that's, you know, always a little bit kind of out of sorts. You know, you never know what you're going to get. Although he is incredibly good, even so. As we are going to jump into pick ban here for game one. DAMWON on blue. We'll see if they can pick up Caitlyn.
Well, Caitlyn's certainly pretty coveted. Certainly one that Ghost would like to abuse as well. Having a lot of extra safety down there sounds like the bread and butter for DAMWON. They can basically ban whatever they want, to be honest. But they're going to ban Karma first off. And I actually think that DAMWON banning Karma on blue side is a really good idea. I think she ruins a lot of things that DAMWON want to do, and they don't want to play her. As apparently Noguri went to a fortune teller, and she told him that he has a lot of anger inside him. So the coach started to give him massages. That's how that works.
Okay.
Fortune tellers, it's a real thing here in Korea, by the way. Like,
It is, yeah.
People do it often. My girlfriend went a little while ago. It was quite interesting. All of the things that the fortune teller said about her.
Yeah, it's called Saju.
Yeah, it seemed like horoscope to me.
It is.
A little bit.
It
but
is horoscope. It's not real. Anyway, we do have, I don't believe
Wow, way to
in
shut it down,
non-scientific
dude.
things here.
All right.
Karthus is going to be banned here, which is really interesting. They just do not want to deal with Canyon. We saw that DAMWON, he's insane on that pick. And Karthus is insane once he gets ahead. So they just don't even want to allow that to become a thing.
DAMWON are like banning red side champions on blue side. Interestingly enough.
Yeah, that is weird.
Set is going to be banned away here to sort of give us a lot of pretty understandable bans. As DAMWON, I mean, if you're looking down tier lists, Twisted Fate's certainly going to be the one, and that is going to be locked away. Camille Galio could come in here, though. I'd actually like it, personally, but does give away a lot of what you're planning on doing, and you're on the red side, so probably wanting to reserve counterpick, things like that. But you can still counterpick for jungle, counterpick for, bottom lane, things like that. See what SeolHaeOne Prince do want to do here. 5 seconds to go.
Do you think this pick band music is the best music? Is this the best song of all of them?
Like
The
ever of
best
all
song
time.
ever.
I think
Yeah, well, that's.
Could you imagine if, like, instead of this, they played Tribute by Tenacious D? Because that
I don't think I've ever heard
actually,
that song, actually.
it objectively is the greatest and best song of
Oh.
or at least it's a song about the greatest and best song of all time. Maybe this is what they were singing about in Tribute.
Maybe.
By Tenacious D. As SeolHaeOne Prince.
Oh.
Oh, they've fallen into the dynamics trap. As maybe they might have fallen into the dynamics trap. This is a bottom lane duo that has seen a lot of success and seen some failure as well. Which is why we bring up the dynamics trap. DAMWON, now they know exactly what the bottom lane is. Well, not necessarily. Ixu has played top lane Pantheon. He's one of the few. It didn't work, but he did do it. As Ezreal Bard. Oh my god. Okay.
This is the best part of the song, by the way, when the strings come in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I can feel it. Do we need to talk about the draft, or can we just sort of rock out for a little bit?
The draft is good.
I mean, I wasn't saying that we should.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's going well,
Yeah.
right?
It seems to be working just fine without us.
Yeah, we don't really need to say anything about it. It'll just work itself out.
Yeah, well, I think they'll pick 5.
Turns out we're not
champions.
necessary at all.
Yeah. Oh no, we should just keep rocking out.
We're kind of just like the fancy painting that you put on the wall that,
Yeah.
that lightens up the room, but not entirely necessary.
Do you think we should try and like speak in time with the music from now on,
Oh, that
just so
would be
that
hard.
people can like listen to it better?
But then we'd be talking over the music. It's better to have it in the
No,
background. so people
we're
can
talking
jam out.
with the music. We're harmonizing, you know? Well, not necessarily. I don't think we will need to sing on broadcast, but
Listen is picked.
Silence.
You've got like the
Yeah.
the undertone,
Yeah.
the bass, like.
I feel like I'm definitely doing the harmony, not the melody. Ooh, this is we're having. I think we're having an epiphany on what the final band is going to be here from SeolHaeOne Prince. But then
really
they
lost
missed
their
their
minds
window
already.
They missed their window. They had the and that would have meant a much better band than this SeolHaeOne that's going to be taken away.
SeolHaeOne. I mean, Canyon was always good on SeolHaeOne, I guess. It's really annoying for Lee Sin to deal with, right? Because she's quite the tanky beast.
Why didn't they ban Camille? What?
I don't know. TF Camille, obviously, I think is what you're talking about here.
I am alluding to that. You are correct.
The Narban is very... I mean, Ixu looked good on it, I guess, the last time he played, but, like...
That also, lanes decently well into a few of the things that Noguri might want to blind pick. DAMWON now could Ultra Sin if they wanted to. We could just go Renekton Nidalee and just head all the way into Dante's pit of death. It's going to be the J-Star. Okay, this is making me more pleased.
Yeah, it is blind.
Oh, God, no. Did I do it? Did I do it?
Nidalee is picked.
Please.
And...
Okay, Jace is definitely not Renekton, and that is fantastic. Adding to the poke that the wildcards, Mystic Shot, even Tempered Fate adds.
Yeah.
DAMWON giving themselves split push options, but also a teamfight identity. Love it. Fantastic work by Zephyr, who's certainly stepped up. At the beginning of the year and the beginning of the split, I was very critical of Zephyr and his drafts, but DAMWON have turned things around. Looking great. Thank you for not picking.
He's been a big part. Their drafts have been fantastic, and that is something we can't say a lot about a lot of teams here in the LCK. So it's good to see that at least he has separated himself, on top of having this insanely talented roster.
Yeah, that helps.
That have huge champion oceans, by the way. So that also is pretty helpful. And the Wukong response to the Jace, so...
Certainly a lot of team fight coming out from SeolHaeOne Prince. They are going to be able to grab picks with the Ashe. They can follow up with the Pantheon. And Ixu, if he can get into a decent position, will certainly be able to wreak havoc. So SeolHaeOne Prince's dive potential, very, very high. But they're going to get poked. So they really need to pull the trigger. And SeolHaeOne Prince, what they're going to be tested on is proactivity. And testing a team that's losing every single game on their proactivity is just, that's cruel.
Yeah.
It's very cruel.
The thing about SeolHaeOne Prince is that they don't have like a caution meter. They're not a very cautious team. They're like, well,
that's true.
We have this stuff that can attack. Let's use it. And even when they're like 5,000 gold behind, they'll just like run at you. So
I have a button off cooldown, guys.
Yeah,
I'm going in.
Ixu will just run in there. It's gonna happen. We're gonna see it in this game. I guarantee it.
Well, he can spin now.
Yes,
you know,
he can.
He can get some stuff done with that Cyclone. See how the Wukong is going to do. It's going to be a rough matchup, like a really rough matchup. Into especially Nuguri's Jace, the man who you killed, comes back stronger. Let's do it. Let's get into game number 1. DAMWON versus SeolHaeOne Prince for our final match of the day. Will Showmaker get his wish, which is an early night?
Yeah, he had to come in here later today. I feel like generally we've had DAMWON in the early, the early slot, but not today.
Sneaky. Maybe reading some Nuguri aggression.
Nuguri, this is, I think, a good idea. If you're playing against Nuguri, just bank on the fact that like 20% of the time he's just randomly going to face check, you know?
Oh, Mia stepped out of the brush maybe a little bit too early. Spear. Canyon pretending to be Zoe, seeing whether the spear will go longer based on throwing it through a wall. It doesn't.
Ooh, Scorch on Azir against TF.
Wow, it doesn't have Nimbus Cloak. Feels bad.
Yeah, no Nimbus Cloak. Some of these mid laners...
I guess when you're taking Teleport, you don't really want Nimbus Cloak as much because you don't have double Nimbus Cloak possibilities. It's not as valuable.
Yeah.
If you've got like a million summoner spells to cycle through, maybe it makes more sense.
Yeah. Also, you're not like teleport flanking with the Azir or anything like that, so you're definitely correct.
I mean, this is Mickey. He does all sorts of crazy stuff, man.
True. Nuguri casually 7-0 on the Jace.
Whoa.
He's kind of quietly done that too. You know,
Yep.
we're not coming into every draft saying like, oh man, they really got to deny Nuguri's Jace this game. But still, I mean, he's always been known for his Jace, and it's funny that he's just casually able to do this again in another season.
Indeed. I'll trigger me actually getting the better of some of these trades. His barrel goes down relatively low. This is Ezreal Bard. It's going to be really hard. Rhyme unintentional, but it's fine.
Let's see how far you can go.
Yeah, I don't really want to.
Well, we'll see how game 1 goes. Let's see. If it's like a total blowout, we might just, you know.
Maybe we'll just, the funny business will come out.
Yeah. We'll see.
Actually play yakety sax. Maybe we could request draft music, and we can just rock out to the draft music instead of actually casting.
Remember, I told you one time you got to bring your saxophone from
yeah,
Australia.
I know.
Right?
I need to go back to Australia, and then they need to let me out of the country, which is impossible at the moment.
Yeah.
Because of the virus. That's the issue, you know.
You got to bring your sax one day on a day like this.
Yeah.
So when just craziness goes on, we're just gonna stop talking. You can play yakety sax. Like just crazy saxophone music.
I'll have to learn yakety sax and then unlearn it so I can play it really, really badly. Like the classic "Your Heart Will Go On" recorder type idea.
A classic.
Yeah.
I love that song. I think
makes
me cry every time.
Yeah, I know, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Only the recorder version.
Yeah, no. It just adds to the heart, you know. It really does.
Oh man.
Mia and Trigger pushing relatively well. You can see that CS probably going to even out between the Ashe and the Ezreal as this wave crashes.
This is what the Ashe Pantheon can do, right? This is why it is popular. It has so much lane control because of even Pantheon's poke as well. It's not just Ashe. And on top of that, you do have some decent engage with the Pantheon and all that good stuff, as he can also roam. Here he comes to the mid lane. This is looking good.
I love Showmaker's positioning here as Mickey's trying to chase after him. Flash comes out, though.
Nimbus Cloak.
As, yep, he is able to Nimbus his way out. So it's still valuable there. I actually didn't know whether Showmaker necessarily needed to flash there, but probably looking to see whether Mio is going to make it into flash W range. And that's why it sort of seemed a little bit odd. But Showmaker knowing a little bit more than us, potentially.
I'm glad that you mentioned his positioning in the lane, by the way, because this is something that a lot of analysts talk about a lot of the time, especially our analysts, good old LS. How, you know, he's got Italy on the top side of the map, and he's got wardage over there as well. He has a lot of vision on the top side in the river. Yes, wardage.
Speaking of wardage, Kuma is on the wardage as Noguri, he's looking to grab that first death for his 0-2 power spike. Avoids the, oh no, it's the ring around the rosy. I need my saxophone, dude. I really do. As Noguri is going to get closed in on, and First Blood will eventually come out. That took a very long time. As now the back will come in. Ixu not actually wanting to clear out the wave or anything like that. Feels like he has it in a good spot. And it might be that Kuma can come back and get another one. See whether Kuma can win his first game here.
This is a little bit of a monk and W, though. You do not want to trigger the 0-2 power spike.
I know, you can't do it too early. And it's his Jace as well. His Jace is like the classic 0-2er.
Yeah, it's perfect because he just never stops being aggressive, right? So
yeah,
he dies once, dies again, but he's still exerting so much pressure on the lane. Like already, he's got a nice lead in the CS, which will be shored up a little bit. But here's this one. And he does a really great job of dancing around. You see the Q is going to be used here by Kumo. It's misses. But then he goes back in onto Ixu. He does that bit of poke, and then I'm not sure why he continues down this way. I would have liked to see more ring around the Rosie with the Nidalee coming up instead, because she was on the way, but maybe Nuguri lost his patience.
Seems like a Nuguri thing to do, not going to lie. He does still have Flash available, so this is not by any means any issue as far as his laning strength, apart from losing that Siege minion, which may have tilted him. And so that could affect his laning ability. As Beryl and Ghost just happily evening things out between themselves and the Ashe Pantheon. But this is a bit of a win combo rather than a not lose combo in the Pantheon Ashe, but it probably comes more at around level 6. Where they do get the power of those ultimates. They can pair up with one another, theoretically, and utilize it to get better back timings and things like that, especially for Mia. As Kuma's going to come on over, spots out Canyon, Q is going to land, that's a lot of damage, and the Nidalee is going to go down. But in comes Showmaker, and Noguri's going to be able to grab that kill. So, 1 for 1 towards the top side as finally DAMWON get a kill on this map. And it looks like Mickey's just standing guard. Very on theme. With a man with sand soldiers that like to set up a phalanx, things like that.
Yeah, the thing about Mickey's maneuver there is like, you're never going to get there on time, right? The fight is always going to end before you get there. And unless they start diving turrets after that play, you're not going to get anything. So I would have liked to see him just try to push in and then try to stand guard a little bit. But instead, he just stands over there while the lane is frozen in the middle. And frozen meaning, okay, well, here we go.
There's the Emperor's Divide. Mickey's going to nail it as Showmaker throws out the blue card that he really didn't want. And the kick into the wall, into the death. And SeolHaeOne Prince, 3-1. Even on gold. With DAMWON at 7.5 minutes.
Yeah. And I like how, you know, you're saying it very apprehensively because we're not ready to believe in SeolHaeOne Prince yet. They need a lot more kills. You're all in? Okay.
Yep, I'm ready. 2-1-0 Ixu. Wow. This is unprecedented. I'm very excited.
True. Well, if this is definitely a good start for them. We can't avoid that. They're definitely starting off well in this game. And maybe I cast or curse DAMWON by saying they always crush the lower level teams. We'll have to wait and see how this one comes along. Of course, the gold difference will be around the same. Actually, a bit of an in the lead here for DAMWON as, of course, TF exists as a champion. Nice Q landing by Kuma. I was surprised that Canyon wasn't respecting that combo over the wall, especially with Ixu having flash. At least Showmaker was there to spare the blushes.
음파 없어 근데? 잡은 거 같은데?
He said he had no Q, which he did not.
잡았어.
So I think he
야,
got him.
용까지 먹을 수 있어 우리 이거?
I can get Dragon.
And he did get Dragon. So it all worked out. No, I think DAMWON's chances just went from 98% to like 95%.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. This is a huge deal.
It's a big... We're falling off a cliff here.
Yeah, it's a big swing.
Yeah.
Big swing.
Crazy. DAMWON are still in the lead after all of this.
I mean, look at Noguri's farm.
Yeah.
It's insane.
That's the thing. I mean, Ixu does struggle a little bit in the laning phases, and
especially
against,
right?
Yeah, especially against Nuguri's Jace, right? So he picks up a couple of kills, which are going to shore up some of that, but other than that, it's not going to happen.
There's another Flash Emperor's Divide. Is immediately the Nidalee is just dead, but in comes the Pantheon. Mia is going to join him. His Magical Journey gets Showmaker out, but they get no kill in response. And Naga is completely out of mana on the top side. They have no priority, and SeolHaeOne Prince are not taking their foot off the pressure. I think that's another 2%.
Whoa!
93.
Sell your stonks now! This is,
buy his stonks.
Yeah.
Buy him.
Now's the time to buy some SeolHaeOne Prince stonks. And it really is a big swing for them. I mean, they have, they've really gotten ahead here in this game now after that maneuver. They have the Rift Herald now, and they're going to be able to start pushing some of these turrets, some of the pressure back, as Canyon is just, it almost feels like he's disrespecting SeolHaeOne Prince in a way, in the way that he is playing so far up in some of these fights, as thankfully Barrel's there. Our Showmaker dies as well, as everybody was kind of rotating up for the Rift Herald, of course, so both the supports were going to be there, as we see the defensive power of Bard in that case.
I have to say, Mickey has looked better than he's ever looked in this game. He's been, you know how we talk about Mickey and his dice rolling? I mean, this has been double sixes into double sixes. And I'm really hoping this is not Monopoly rules, where if you roll 3 in a row, you go to jail.
Yeah. I don't like
which
that rule.
could happen. But we'll see. I don't like that rule either. I think that you should be rewarded for being lucky.
I think when you play Monopoly, you should just play with whatever rules you want.
Oh, absolutely. House rules for Monopoly are definitely the best way to go. And you always invite other people over and never tell them the rules so they can get as annoyed as possible.
Until they try to do something that's by the normal rules, and you're like, actually, that's not the way
no,
we play here.
We omit those rules, actually. If I go to Mayfair, because my name starts with an M, I don't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
And in fact, you have to pay me the cost.
Yeah, and I think it's it makes sense for a lot of people that play the game, because I remember when I was playing it at home as a kid, we didn't fully understand the rules, so we kind of did like massage those rules a little bit. As we're gonna deny, that was way too early. What was that?
The Rift Herald hasn't even started charging yet, Beryl.
What is going on
silly
today?
Billy. I think he just mistook the animation, as he just wasn't quite there yet. And you're right, maybe this is a complacent DAMWON that maybe needed to, you know, wake up on the correct side of the bed just a little bit.
This isn't Brad, this is like Bird or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Bird the turd?
Bird with the U, yeah.
Okay, well, that's not very nice. Ghost's going to have to get himself out of there. Does so. Ixu most likely dead as Showmaker turns up on the top side. Nago not going to find the To the Skies damage. Wildcards comes in. Showmaker very close to dead. But is going to walk his way out. Mickey's going to take the turret, and I'd probably say worth for SeolHaeOne Prince.
So much value here.
Listen to his workout noises, the Azir. As he takes down that
very
turret.
masculine Bird.
Yeah,
Speaking of which. And, I mean, you got to be strong if you're going to be maneuvering all those sand soldiers, I guess.
That's true.
Shifting the sands in the manner that he does. And
that are a magician.
It's crazy what TF can do, by the way, to a gold score. Because SeolHaeOne Prince are in such a crazy position in terms of, you know, their chance to win this game just from the early game, and still the gold is pretty much even because of TF.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Nuggery? No, that's 2 Dirks. Double Dirk.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you got a double Dirk, I guess.
Double Dirks.
Double Dirk. That's what he's done. And, you know, look, if I had a birthday party, I'd probably invite 2 Dirks as well.
Why not?
2 that I know, nice guys. As Canyon, he's looking for Ixu here on the top side. If in doubt, DAMWON say, they're just going to go as aggressive as they can against what they see as the weak link. Primal Surge going to keep his health bar up, as that's the gold card, and Showmaker grabs the kill. Now, what is the response? As the man drop comes in, Mia going to flash stun, Canyon's dead, but DAMWON's going to be here. Good arrow is going to land as Mickey's dead. Oh no, too many doubles, and he's gone straight to the death chamber. And DAMWON do answer back. They even out the kill score. They grab the gold lead, and it was fleeting. But just remember the early game of this game for SeolHaeOne Prince, guys.
Yeah, Canyon is kind of like he is so expertly baiting.
Oh no, yeah, he's gonna flash.
Nice
Gold
little
card
play.
comes
Okay,
in,
he's
Meep
alive.
slaps. Yeah, he gets out.
Nice.
Does have to flash, does lose his red buff, doesn't die.
All good.
Yeah.
Gets away. He's 1-0-3. Keeps his KDA alive. And
That's what you got to do. And I mean, Kumo
watch
hasn't won
Bard
a
fly
game
away.
yet.
Oh, so good.
God, the skin is super cool.
You saw the
heck
UFO
happened?
fly away.
Yep.
We were talking about that yesterday, where we saw the it has a shadow too. You can see the UFO fly.
All the way across the map?
Yeah,
I haven't gone into the spectate client to watch him go home.
At least near the Bard, I would imagine. I don't know if it goes all the way across, but we spotted it yesterday.
Damn, that would be super cool.
It is really cool.
Do you know what would be really cool? If, like, shadows of ash arrows would, like, move across the screen. Like ash arrows of years past.
Of other games.
You know, because, like, now because the arrows, like, it's still orbiting the orbiting Runeterra. Because they can never dissipate.
What if there was an ability like that, like, went out one side and came out the other side?
Oh my god, that has to happen. If that kept going for too long, maybe it like has like a strange effect on the game and the spaghetti can't handle it. I don't know. We're looking for a dive here on the bottom side as we get back to the game for a second.
Well,
never mind.
Yeah.
So let's go back to talk about the real stuff.
It's almost like after that last play, the win was just taken out of the sails of SeolHaeOne Prince.
And
just like that.
And put into the sails of DAMWON.
What is going on today with Beryl, by the way?
I don't know. He likes golden cannon.
This is not my Beryl. This is someone else's Beryl.
Yeah. And we have an imposter. As Arrow is going to be, I think, unnecessarily arcane shifted out of the way of. As I think Trigger was going to get a goal there regardless.
It's
That's
got a
alright.
big hitbox, you know?
Well, it does.
We've seen that today.
Yeah. It's got a hit planet. It's not a hit box, dude.
Showmaker has a Magi's because what better game to get Magi's than
Okay.
Double Dirk?
Oh, yeah, let's double dirk.
나 템 잘못 샀다. 나중에 쓰긴 하는데.
Oh, no. Wait.
아래로. 깡태고.
He said he would use it anyway later on, so.
I mean, he can.
깡태.
There we go. That's how you use it. Oh, I wanted him to say double dirk power or something like that. At the end. Oh, man.
Come on, Nagri.
It's all right. He had a lot of pressure on him. He was, at that moment, in danger of losing to Ixu in lane. But now he's 4-1-0.
Most CS in the game.
Yeah.
More than the Azir.
And moving to, like, 3 items with this Manamune Jace, by the way, like, comes online at about the same time as the Mura Mana, and it's so much damage. It's obscene. And SeolHaeOne Prince, they're looking for this Infernal Drake in a minute's time. That will be Soul Point. But DAMWON, they only wanted Infernal Drakes this game. I think that's why they decided to int a little in the early game.
Ah, makes sense.
Yeah, it's convincing to SeolHaeOne Prince for them to, like, take the other Drakes off the board. As Ghost is down here by himself on the bottom side. And Beryl going to get a really nice stun there onto Mia. And they'll clear out the vision. So, 30 seconds. Infernal Drake going to be coming up. Shirley going to buy some map control. As Nogari's going to take down the turret. Shirley's going to continue forward, but she's going to get a little bit of a poke in the eye and take it down just before this Infernal Drake does come up. A reset for Nogari. And we'll see whether that means that Duskblade's also done. He has a lot of gold. No, not quite there yet.
Caulfield's Warhammer.
Got to get that CDR.
Yeah, eventually gets there. And we're definitely going to have a fight over this. Remember what I said, SeolHaeOne Prince do not back away from fights. And if there's a Infernal Drake on the cards here, I think they'll absolutely take the fight as well.
And Showmaker, he's got a gold card. He's spotted on vision. So, DAMWON, what can they do? They can always just press Destiny and know everything. So it's very easy for them to set up around.
Are they actually really going to give this away?
I think so.
Wow.
There's just no...
I caster curse the action.
You absolutely did. They decided that they are happy to trade it for the top outer turret.
I mean, they had TP and everything from Ixu, but they just decided, you know, actually, nah.
Yeah, nah. That's the Australian way. As Muramana is complete by Ghost. Maybe that's why. He was sitting there with Iceborne Muramana, like, probably about as strong as the Ezreal was going to get as far as any particular item spike. So maybe not wanting to actually just run straight into it. With what they had, Ixu didn't have Trinity Force yet. We didn't have any second item onto Trigger, so he was much weaker. So perhaps that was where their minds were at. Or maybe they're a team that have lost 13 in a row.
Yeah, that's true.
didn't necessarily have the confidence to go for the play against the #1 team, or #2 team if you want to get technical, here in the LCK. They will be moving to first place with a gigantic game score advantage and an even match score with DRX after this if they manage to win. But they do still have to win.
I want to point out that we saw yesterday and today a couple of comps where spamming Ninja Tabi would be really good against.
That triggered me the whole time.
Yeah, a lot of auto attackers, a ton of 80 damage, right?
Yep.
And in this game, you can see 3 on the side of DAMWON, so they buy more than those other 2 games, right? Against a comp that's, I mean, they don't have as many auto attackers. Obviously, there are...
I mean, if they kill Mickey, then they make very good use.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, the Sand Soldiers, does the Sand Soldier damage, does that count as an auto attack? Because it is an auto attack, sort of? Or is it AoE damage?
So.
I don't know how that's calculated.
When damage.
When it comes to Ninja Tabi, I don't know how that necessarily gets calculated.
Yeah.
I know that it still mitigates Corki damage even though it's magic, but that is counted as a... Okay, never mind. Thankfully, Mickey's saved us by dying. He is going to flash, shifts some sands, tries to get out as Mia is just going to get absolutely obliterated by Nogari. Mickey, of course, there on the top side is going to fall, but Canyon could be in trouble. He's going to have the Primal Surge pretty soon. And there's the gold card as Canyon just baiting them as this little kitty cat who's very anemic this game, but it doesn't seem to matter. There is a big guy with a... Oh! Kuma does it! Finds the pickoff on the backside. That's going to save the Baron because now there's no smite. Kuma says, bring it, buddy. And Trigger, he's just going to be taken down inner turrets here in the mid lane. Mia at 50% health as Nogari fighting against Kuma. Flash forward. That's double buffs. And Showmaker comes down asking what the heck's going on.
Why did he miss the Q? It was going to be so good. We were going to be screaming the name of Kuma, but it did not happen. And I think that was the 6th kill for Nuggery on top of it all. So he's just spamming kills here. And yeah, once again, I mean, it's kind of the SeolHaeOne Prince effect. You see that UFO?
Oh,
did you see it, by the way?
Yeah, that was cool.
Because he just went back. Anyway.
I feel like you need thicker glasses or something like that when you say that. I don't know why.
Did you see UFO? This is a nice little setup here. Obviously, Bard can help a CC from very far away. And it's so annoying to kill Azir even so. But that gold card from downtown. A nice little Emperor's Divide.
Yeah.
But just wasn't enough. As Ixu, I did mention, he is going to go in on some fights regardless of what's happening. I guarantee it. That is what I said during the draft.
You did? Yeah.
And this is a really nice play by Kuma. On vision, able to ward hop into Q. And
now let's see the fight with Nogari. I want to see this.
He's able to win this one, and then he misses the Q, which I just... See, he gets the kick.
Oh, man.
Come on.
This Jace, he's been working out, or he's been denied dinner a few times because he's a lot skinnier than I thought. If that was an Ash arrow.
Yeah, well, that would have hit. Like,
oh, yeah, actually, that
from much farther of a distance away from the champion.
Comparison's different. He is in the game, therefore the arrow should hit. As that spear was odd, somehow landed on Kuma. Pixels, am I right?
Yes. Many, many pixels.
Ixu's going to be able to get away. As we're going for a little bit of a reset, Kuma's going to cancel. SeolHaeOne Prince now with some of the health bars removed, but 5 members hanging around this Infernal Drake pit. 25 seconds until that one's coming back up. As there's the arrow. Arcane Shift was buffered nicely, and Ghost gets himself away. Using his flash, there's a great exhaust. Emperor's Divide. Not going to be great this time, Mickey, unfortunately, and Beryl. Going to lock down a double kill. The meep slap of destiny from Big Brad. He's certainly not what we were talking about before. Brad the chatty went to sleep a little bit earlier on and wakes up to help DAMWON out now. As they will split themselves up. They'll take themselves an Infernal Drake and a Baron. And look, the early game kept us on our toes, but I think this game's pretty done, Valdez.
It is, and DAMWON are pretty far ahead at this point, but look at how far they commit. SeolHaeOne Prince, they go all the way in, and this is the power of TF, right? You're just able to lock someone down, forces the flash at a trigger, and Mia doesn't exist after his E goes down. You see Kuma and Ixu doing 0.
Yeah.
Because of the way that fight started, as Ixu, he heard me saying that. He's getting a little bit angry now.
Yeah, there's another Cyclone, and Ixu's going to be able to lock down the kill. Solo kill by Ixu onto Nogari. Gigantic gold pickup there as the bounty now goes down to only 300. Noguri had a stacking bounty above what Ixu was actually able to put into his bank account. You can't do a transaction of that size. You're going to have to wait until the next kill before you can lock that one down. So the legendary Noguri is going to fall. I believe he was legendary, unless he got that kill before he died the first time, but I don't think so. I think he died.
No, yeah, he was legendary. 8 and 1, and then he died there. So, yeah, just, you know, Nuggery things. It's not like there's a big objective that either team can go for right now, as DWG Gaming did pick up the Baron while we were in the replay. Yep. And so they're just going to wait for him and then just go for a push. They've still got 2 minutes on the Baron buff.
I think that, yeah, I think Noguri is almost 5,000 gold ahead of Ixu, but that took a little bit of a dip after he died here. Is this was what? Okay. It's very strange. I mean, I don't.
It's just Nuggery things,
Yeah, it's
you know.
really Nuggery.
It's like, what are you doing? You know? Okay.
Okay. That Ash was there.
Showmaker has 21 stacks on his Magi's right now.
He's booking it around the map at the moment.
He doesn't care about your nerves. He doesn't care about the matchup. He doesn't care about what happened in the game. He's going to carry. Doesn't matter what it is. That is Showmaker.
2-1 and 10. He's just quietly above 90% kill participation this game. And DWG are just going to move on in here at 26 minutes and try to win the game. Trigger's still dead for another 13. There's a kick flash from Kuma to get Showmaker in, but he's going to go golden after the cleanse. And Noguri does so much AoE with that to the skies. Showmaker flashes out. Ixu is going to be very low, but does survive. Nexus turret not so lucky. Second one in the sights here of DAMWON Gaming, as Showmaker's going to go back.
They're pushing. They're going.
Yeah, no, we're trying to win it right now because they've got a average game time that they need to keep down. They need to get Showmaker home.
You see
But
how
no, they're going to
fast
have to back up.
You see how fast the TF was after the TP? It's just not fair.
He has movement speed on 2 of his other items as well, not to mention.
Nimbus Cloak and Teleport, and he's got the 2 items that you mentioned. He's got Home Guard, I think, at this point. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff.
Definitely booking it. As Ezreal looking to go home, finish that Death Dance. It's been a very, very slow day here. The Ghost, 006, Electrebellion. If you're a GoldenEye fan. But otherwise, it really hasn't been doing very much at all. This is old school DAMWON. The DAMWON that just has Noguri and Showmaker doing ridiculous things around the map. Let's have a look at this fight one more time.
Yeah, curious to see how this one started as, okay, it's a little bit of damage. And it all starts with that. It's basically just Showmaker stealing the kill at the end. He's able to get in the back with his ultimate. And you can see here that they were trying to chain the CC. They were nearly able to. Looks like Showmaker waited to get the gold card before he went for the stopwatch and the flash. So he's able to get out of there anyway. They don't take anyone out in the play, and because they took a lot of damage, that does mean they just had to back away. So DAMWON, they want to end these games as fast as possible, but struggled a little bit in ending it right there.
Yeah, weren't able to take it down, but, you know, 27, 28 minutes. Still not exactly the longest game of all time, as Mia's going to go golden. The Tempered Fate, but Beryl's unable to find the Cosmic Binding for any sort of CC. And DWG are just going to take down the inner turret. Inner on the top side, still available. Noguri does have a teleport. He can head up there if he likes.
Look at Mickey's health bar. That was all from one shot blast. It was even more. He's actually regened a lot since it first hit.
I mean, they do have a Ocean Rig. Not very relevant, as Q going to connect. Mia, he decided that he wanted to Grand Skyfall in, but he doesn't want to anymore, as Ghost is going to take matters into his own hands, finds himself his first kill of the game. Beryl flashing forward, trying to get those meats at the ready. They're not going to be able to find too many kills just yet. Now with Mia dead, 4 versus 5, 2 inhibitors now down, DAMWON. Now you don't want that average game time to go up by too much. Sitting at 28
turret
right now.
They're holding on.
Yep, the pretend Nexus turret is set up. There are some minions here. Noguri immediately going to cleanse. I believe that was a QSS that he picked up. There's, oh no, not going to be able to find any kicks. Ghost is going to grab his second, and that is Tempered Fate, allowing for the dive. Tempered Ohm Wrecker. They don't dive. I don't really feel like doing that just yet, as Ghost must have been so bored as now he's going super aggressive. Ixu getting out from underneath the turret as the flash forward from Canyon. Not going to be a pentakill this time, but still going to be a win here for DAMWON as Empress Divide is going to get stopwatched. Mickey's going to go golden. And
Wait,
Ixu...
don't kill the Nexus.
No, don't kill him. Don't kill Ixu. No.
He's dead. He's dead whether you like it or not.
He didn't deserve it. He
Now they
didn't
kill the
deserve
Nexus.
it. As the Nexus is going to go down, DAMWON, an understandable victory, a predictable victory. But the early game was much better than we expected out of SeolHaeOne Prince, so they can take that one to the bank. It's getting to the point where DAMWON, like, the victories need to be spoken about more about how well you did at a very isolated point in the game and whether that was good, not the outcome. Because not very many teams can actually win against DAMWON, especially in their current form.
I mean, I wouldn't feel too bad if I'm SeolHaeOne Prince. You're literally 1-13, right? And you took an early game against the best team in the LCK. So, that's good.
Yeah.
Right? We talk about expectations for different teams, and we usually say if DAMWON don't 2-0 this team, we're worried, right? For SeolHaeOne Prince, it's like, you know, if they get even a little bit, we're happy. So, I suppose that's good, right? They were able to follow up on a lot of ganks early on in the game. They were able to actually get a nice little lead until, unfortunately, DAMWON outplayed them a little bit later. But, I mean, it's better than just getting absolutely wiped off the face of the planet in the entirety of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think Noguri did comparable to the same amount of damage as the entirety of SeolHaeOne Prince on its Jace.
Let's add it up. Let's do some mathematics.
I don't want to do some mathematics. Valdez, I've never wanted to. And
so, bottom lane did about 12K, 22K.
It's not quite.
It's not quite more than the entire.
It's like only 4K less than the entire team. So, yeah, Noguri did some work. That's a pretty easy pog vote there for you. So, congratulations for getting it right here this game. We'll see whether Valdez is going to be able to find it for game number 2 when it comes to pog votes, as we'll have DAMWON versus SeolHaeOne Prince. See you there.
리신 볼게. 애쉬 스턴데.
나 큐이 한번 되고.
네, 미칼 있어. 나
깜짝이야. 깡태 나왔다.
아지르 풀 있다. 공 보여줄게. 5번개. 아지르 들어오면 스턴 볼게. 아지르 들어오면 스턴 볼게. 빠졌다. 끝난 듯? 끝났다. 오. 아지르. 여기까지?
오고.
더 빨리 봐라. 한조 스턴데.
5 볼트. 큐이 한번 돼.
잡아줘. 나이스.